to order. First item on the agenda is the approval of this afternoon's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, thank you, Director Clark. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Director Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. We're going to do the flag salute by Director Clark and then followed by our invocation by Director Elcon.
Could all please stand? Put your hand over the heart. Pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, and indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Join me. Dear Lord, I just want to come before you and I want to thank you for those that are in charge and helping with the processes that we go through with the skilled nursing and for the hospital. That includes, the architects, CMS, everyone, because I know it takes a group. And I know it takes a long time, Lord, and I would like you to see if you could speed things up a little bit on some stuff. But Lord, I just want to thank you for this weather. And I want to thank you for all of us to be here today. I just ask all these things in your name.
Amen.
Yeah. But the weather woke me up 3:30 in the morning.
My windows are closed.
That's what mine was doing. Our mission statement is on the agenda. For anybody that wants to read it. At this point, we're going to have public comment. Is there anybody from the public that wants to make a comment or make a presentation? Yes, sir. It's limited to 3 minutes. Just make your state your name for the record and yeah.
Yes, my name is Anthony Barbado with Kern Valley Assisted Living.
Well, welcome.
I wanted to say hello, and we've worked together informally over the years since we started operating the facility back in 2023. It had previously been under prior ownership under a private pay model, where one of the big programs that we brought in is through Medi-Cal insurance that covers assisted living. So we've worked with hospitals in Bakersfield and throughout the Central Valley. If there are individuals that need a placement after the hospital or after they go to the nursing home, it's something that's affordable, where it's covered by Medi-Cal insurance. So we're glad to work together, being that it's a similar post-acute service that we provide. And we also provide home health service, where after somebody discharges from the hospital, then it is where nurses can follow them, as well as physical therapy. And it's covered by their insurance. And this is all with the goal of reducing readmission to the hospital to keep people healthier for a longer period of time. So we wanted to reach out formally, where since 2023, we had become the owner of the facilities in the Burlington and Wilford Heights, which at one point had been a hospital as well here in Lake Isabella, and the Kern Valley Assisted Living in Kernville. So we take care of altogether 44 people in a post-acute setting. And it is 125 people we take care of between Bakersfield and Lake Isabella. We operate assisted living there as well. So however we can work together, we're glad to do so. And even to continue to grow, if there are any assets that the hospital district is interested to divest from, or any service lines, it's something that we'd be interested in working together, however we may be able to do so.
What's your census there? How do you say pretty full?
The big process, as soon as we got this contract with Medi-Cal, it's been consistently above 90% full. Because affordability is the big barrier for moving to assisted living. With private pay being $5,000–6,000 a month, it's not financially feasible for a lot of people. So with ours, it's covered entirely by Medi-Cal, and as long as someone receives any amount of Social Security.
I wasn't asking because I'm old. I was just asking.
You provide oxygen services.
I know the two, the Kernville and Wilford Heights. You said there's one in Isabella.
It's just those two. It's just those two.
They're both really nice places. Very nice. Hear a lot of good about them.
Just any way we can work together, we're glad to do so.
So we might have to lease this one to him.
Stay busy. It just shows my contact information. I have a copy for everyone. It's something that we can.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Right, item D is the consent agenda. Is there any items on the consent agenda that anybody would like to pull?
So
Yes, sir.
item number 4, I think there's a typo in the minutes.
Oh, the building
On
front-
page 12,
Okay.
item D. It shows me seconding the motion, and I wasn't there.
That's tough to do.
On page 12 of the agenda packet.
Well, I think Director Alcani may have seconded, if I remember correctly. I seen she.
Looks like Ross.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it's just a typo, but.
yeah,
that's why when everybody asked, I just looked at Ross, if I knew.
So back to building and planning, so we'll correct it before building. and
Thank you,
planning.
okay, thank you, Heidi.
Heidi.
So besides those minutes, was there anything else that any of the board members would like to pull?
President, but you can make the change right now and approve
Oh, you
it.
can.
You don't have to wait to a subsequent board meeting.
Are you okay with that, Heidi? Okay,
Absolutely.
so when we do the consent agenda, we'll just say those minutes will be corrected as presented, so.
Motion to accept with correction.
Okay, motion by Director Clark, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Director Parks. Any further discussion or any input from the public? It's going twice, okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the consent agenda is adopted. Next we'll go on to the reports and Mr. Leverett, our CEO.
All right,
Turn it over to you, sir.
thank you, John.
Uh-huh.
Start with the pharmacy. We have ordered banners. Bob has ordered banners for the old one and the new one to say, hey, we're moved and here's where we are. We also ordered a permanent sign that will be here in about a month or so, you told me?
It'll be a ways down the road yet, and I haven't got the cost yet, so when I get the cost, we'll have to see whether it needs to come before them.
Okay. And Gene said he would talk about talk to the owner of the bowling sign. Did you do that?
I know her pretty good and she didn't call back. I don't think she's interested. Everybody that knows the situation says she's not gonna reopen it. Nobody's wanting to buy it.
Right,
It's listed for like, or it's for sale for like $250. It's so cheap.
$250,000 for that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But
Really?
somebody's gotta want to live there and run the bowling alley. It's gotta be a hobby for them
Right.
because it's not gonna make money. But meanwhile, she didn't call me back. And I was gonna ask Scott if we can start a process to tell them we're gonna cut that sign down. And whatever process
Right.
there,
Is there, what would the process be, Scott?
send a
We
link.
just give them notice of removal
Okay,
and give them like 30 days.
okay, can we get it started pretty soon? It seems like she's just gonna let it go back to whoever she owes the money to, is what it looks like.
Yeah, I'll talk with John about it tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Yeah, and just to refresh everybody's memory, I contacted Scott Kissick because it was a deal between the owner of the bowling alley and Scott's grandfather. There was nothing in writing. It was a handshake deal with the sign there. And he had approached her about removing it back when she was in business and she was opposed to it. But now that the place is closed and probably not going to reopen since her father passed away, more than likely,
Scott, can we give her an option if she's able to sell that place and it's gonna hurt to sell by not having a sign there? We could give her the option to have a spot there if she puts up an acceptable sign in a certain period of time. Give her that option or so we wouldn't hurt her sale. If it doesn't look like it would, but is that a possibility? Or John, I don't know who we wanted to talk to.
Well, I could look
Give
at,
her an option
sure.
to put an acceptable sign up.
If she'll call us back, we could talk to her, sure.
Right.
Main thing's getting that one, that other
But
one
when we
down.
send her notice, rather than just completely shutting her off, we could give her a little,
Sure,
does that make?
that makes sense, sure.
John, I can probably get you a phone number. One of my guys is related to her.
Okay.
I can give you her phone number. She's not calling back. Me. I don't know why.
I don't need.
I don't call you back.
All right, yeah, that's fine. Okay, then Gene, you asked about the parking spaces down there. We have more than sufficient enough.
Do.
We do. And that's not even counting the Red Rooster parking lot that we can use. And it's not counting what we're going to do is clear a space on that lot next to us that we can't get hold of the owner. We get about 10 more there. We got about how many on the Red Rooster? Another
At
15?
least another 8. So what it is, the code requirement for both retail, pharmacy, and for office space is 1 space for every 250 square feet gross of the building. The building is 7,800 square feet, so we need 31.2 spaces, 31.2 spaces, 2 of which have to be handicapped, and we have 32 spaces,
Okay, then we've got enough.
even without,
What if,
by code.
what if we get a lot of people that want to show up all at once?
Well, that's why we want to add on both sides.
Cool, thank you.
And we
But
will
just-
have the,
what-
go ahead. Bob.
Yeah, the what's called off-site, off-street parking requirements for Kern County, we meet 100%.
Cool.
And you can have the employee park somewhere else on this, like they used to at the old
The
farms.
reason I was asking, if we go to open up and all of a sudden they say, you don't have any no parking, but you know, we do.
We do.
Thank you.
Yes.
In the pharmacy, it's getting there. We're looking at probably the end of, maybe the middle of February now for an opening. We are formulating a plan for the move. We are doing a physical inventory to reconcile everything before we do the move. So we start fresh there. Right now, our inventory with the system and what we actually have is off. And that's because we're trying to figure out the system. The system has some flaws to it. We're figuring that out. I talked with the chamber. Chamber chair.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the pharmacy building? Is that, do we own that or?
We don't know what's going to happen with you. That we need to talk about that
But
eventually.
you own it.
Yes,
You
we
own
own it, and we've bandied around ideas that we could utilize it as additional office space.
Right.
Right, or it's prepared in storage if we have
Yeah,
to.
or storage
We'd have to-
in the meantime.
To make it an office, we'd have to really reconfigure because the way it's put together right now is terrible.
It wouldn't take us too many hours to take out a few walls and
Right.
clean it up.
We can make it look. And then the old sign there too, when you think about that, we need to get that at least covered up so that people don't go there and think it's still open.
It's,
whoever gets the building, or if we rent it out or lease it, whatever we do with it, they might want that sign,
Right.
not the face of it, but the sign.
Unless they figure
not
it out.
planning on taking it down.
Right.
The problem is it's got the bank signage underneath the wooden signs that have been put up there. So if I remove our signs, then it's gonna say whatever that bank was that was there.
Cool.
And
Well, they owe me money, so that.
so my thought was to get a tarp and at least cover it and lace it on there. It's challenging because the tallest ladder I have barely gets you up there. I know that from experience because we had bees in that sign and we had to go up there and get them out.
Oh, my goodness.
It was fun.
I spoke with the Chamber of Commerce chairman about an open house / ribbon cutting when we finally get it open, and she's looking into that for us. I think that'd be a good way to kind of present it to the community and say, hey, here's where we are, here's what it looks like, it's beautiful, it's a good. That's it for any questions on the pharmacy.
Just unfortunate. The day keeps jumping.
I know it's a little,
Do you,
What's the biggest hurdle that's kept the pharmacy from opening up?
it's not ready to be opened yet.
Well, I get that, but what's the biggest hurdle that's pushed it out further?
Construction took a little longer than anticipated.
We're limited in how we can deal with the construction, so it has to be done by in-house staff. I can't hire in much contractors because of the legalities of us being a public entity. So we're doing it, with a couple of guys from the maintenance department.
Okay.
So that's why it's just taking time.
If we could hire outside people to do it, it could have been done, but we're trying to stay underneath a certain.
We had looked
Threshold.
into having some of those suites remodeled by public contractors, and the cost came in outrageously high because of us being a public entity. It has to be prevailing wage and all this sort of thing, and the cost was just astronomical.
So you could say doing it this way is fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any other?
do you think that people will say it was worth the wait when it's open?
Heck, yeah.
Oh,
Let's see. We're already, we kind of went down the month before, our prescriptions are going back up. We're hearing some bad things about the other pharmacy. Once we get delivery going and even mailing them, we should be able to capture some more, but we're competing with these Bakersfield people who are delivering for free. I don't know how they do it. They said they can deliver 30 prescriptions in a day.
They've got a helicopter.
So we need one of those drones or something to do. I don't know what, but we're gonna figure that out. We figure we're gonna try to be open on Sundays because we need that for the ER coverage, even though we only got, last week, we got 3 prescriptions only. But we still need to be there because there's no other place for these ER patients to go. So they can prepare for Monday delivery on Sunday. And that way we'll hit the ground running on Monday morning and get them all delivered.
Okay.
Okay, the SNF. Last meeting we had, there was mentioning that nothing is changing in the SNF. But I'm here to tell you that it is, because the census at 11/1/24 was 46.5. Census today is 56, which is a 20% increase
Where'd they come from?
all over.
No, I'm serious. I mean, are we getting some, have we been trying and getting some results, or
We are,
did they just happen to come in here?
no, we're working hard at it. We're
Okay.
looking at it. We're trying to bring it. They're coming from all over, but it's not like it used to be where we were talking about before how it was full. That's when it was all Medi-Cal.
Yeah.
Right now we have 2 or 3 traditional Medi-Cal patients, everything else is managed Medi-Cal, which is a lot more difficult to get authorized to come in there for. But we are working with these places, and I have access to the system now. I am looking at every denial that we have just to see if we are being too stringent on some of these things. Again, it's the smoking. We can't have smokers, and that's what I'm trying to talk with the providers, but they are adamantly against smokers.
Okay, now, next time, would you mind, when you start talking about skilled nursing, not looking straight at me right off the bat?
It's because I moved back.
We know you're the next patient, sir.
And I have a comment. I think that there was a lot of physical therapy. We did a lot of rehabs because we did knees and hips, and we had surgeries here, and people were, and we did some respites too. So it wasn't all 100% Medi-Cal.
And we're getting paid for all these people too. That's the other thing. We are doing good authorizations. We're getting paid for all these patients.
That's awesome, going up. What is that? 20%?
20%. That's not good enough though. We want to get at least till 6. If we can keep going at this rate. Well, the other thing we had COVID in November, which kind of slowed our momentum. We were going. COVID came. We went down to 48, I believe. Now we're kind of getting our momentum back up.
65 used to be the sweet spot, but that was before computers. I don't know what the sweet spot is now, the best place to be.
Right. Well, and we want it filled. I mean, that'd be the best point to be, because you can just distribute your fixed costs a lot better that way, and it would be a lot better. What I'm trying to do is, like I said, allocate some more expenses there so we can get our rates up a little bit. I don't think we put enough overhead in there. I was talking to the cost report preparer, and we are working on that right now.
Cool.
Still working it's not done beautifying it yet. Nick and Arena will go to Bakersfield next week. Our advertising, the billboards has taken effect 1 month. We got 5 calls out of it.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, being down there, and you think, well, we're here and they're there and all that, but even people that refer people can see the signs.
So we're hoping.
So even the referral people can, it'll be in their head if they need a spot.
That's what we're looking at, case managers and things like that to it. We're also going to produce some billboards in Spanish because that's a Hispanic community down there. Hopefully we'll get some out of that. We are looking at how we're going to do the billboards. We're going to do it every month, and we're taking a month off, maybe and do it again. We're looking at that. Nick and I and Carrie are looking at that right now. Nick has got a TV interview for me on 123 where I can also kind of promote it a little bit for Bakersfield TV. What channel was that?
It would be KGT
17. Yep. So we will look at that. We're also working with Kern Valley Sun, Spencer, and trying to get some good art. Our Spencer's doing some good articles for us that are helping us a little bit too. Thank you. Any questions on the SNF?
Yeah.
Yes.
The problem with providers not allowing smokers. So understand the philosophy.
Right.
But we've got a financial storm coming at us at the end of this year. To the tune of what, $3-4 million hit per year?
3 million. Well, around 3 million probably. Right.
Where the SNF might be able to make up some of that ground.
Well,
So if the providers that we have don't want to make a change, then maybe we need to change providers.
I thought of that too.
Okay?
I don't want to do anything drastic quite yet, but
I
I'm hoping to be able to
think
change
we
their
better
minds.
start making these decisions rapidly because those IGTs aren't gonna last too much longer. And we're gonna be
Right.
needing the revenue from the SNF to keep the hospital
I
open.
have been talking to other people at SNFs and a lot of them are non-smoking nowadays. That's part of the problem. I was trying to use that as kind of a lever against our providers, say, hey, these other SNFs
Yeah.
they allow smoking, but a lot of them do not allow smoking. The smoking is getting frowned upon more and more, as you know.
I understand that, but if it comes to us staying open or
Oh,
not,
I agree. I change providers, yeah, if they won't
Yeah.
get with the program, then we have to. We don't have a choice.
Right.
Okay. Medical records will be moving also. We talked about that. Wound care project, they're coming out. They want to expand it, but we are against that. We are not going to expand. If anything, we may start wheeling it down because right now we have in December, we had about 273,000 in supplies. We had about 800,000 in revenues. We have not gotten paid. We got the bills out. We're waiting to get paid. We will get paid for the cost for sure. I'm hoping to get a little bit more, but we are looking to allocate expenses there also for that department. But I just think this program, we have got a concession from the BioLoon on the supplies. They're cutting them in half. But that just tells me that their markup is this much. They can cut it in half that easily. We're trying to get it done retroactively so that we can get a little money back from them. We have not paid them. We're not paying them until we get paid. That was an agreement we had before it started. So we haven't paid them yet. They're going to start getting mad after a while, but I don't care. Yeah. So that's one reason our AR is up too. We've got a lot of revenue in there that is driving our AR right now.
oh, interesting. I wondered what was driving that up.
That's what's driving it, unfortunately. Okay, I mean, the thing about the wound care program, it's so good for the patients though. I mean, we've already got one person who's healed, is off the program, and the other ones are becoming close to that. And we're trying to add, these are all our SNF patients too, which is a real good thing for us.
Wow.
The legal property that we want to purchase across the street, we contacted the appraiser. He's going to charge us $2,500 for the appraisal.
It's not bad for a formal commercial price.
I would, right, that's what I thought, just not bad.
I've seen it a lot worse.
Then we got to get the lot behind us appraised too. That'll probably be an additional, shouldn't be more than 1,000, it's only land.
It won't even be that.
Not even much, maybe $500. So that's what we're looking at. We need to, they asked us if there was any additions made to the project, to the building, and we have to talk to Miss Leo. Heidi has called her and she hasn't called back yet.
I have the original plans from 102 and it's identical.
Identical, okay, so that was gonna go, because they already did an appraisal. They should go to use the last appraisal, really.
Well, I wouldn't call it an improvement. In one of the lobbies, they added some walls and created a couple additional exam rooms.
They were just asking if I should improve this to the roof and things like that.
The roof is,
I've already reached out to her. We'll
yeah,
get
it's probably original.
Okay,
Who's gonna pay for that?
pay for what?
The appraisal.
We are,
We maybe split it.
Right.
We're both involved in.
right, I'll present that to her. She's very easy to work with.
Well, and she might be easier to work with just an appraisal from a realtor, period, for free. I mean, they're very flexible, very good to the community.
We were gonna buy it without a realtor, though. We don't want to pay the fee, but don't have to. We don't need a realtor if we're dealing directly with her, though.
Well, no, the realtor wouldn't get involved at all. Just what's the value of the building. They'll do it for free. It's a good thing.
Right, good
Now,
PR for them.
It's not a commercial appraisal, but it is a good appraisal.
And I think that'd be sufficient for Leo's.
I think from them, they would accept that.
Right, I agree.
I think they,
I agree.
and there'd be a little more wiggle room to work with us. And they don't want to hurt us.
No, they've been, I mean, we've been paying them for 5 years. We paid them a lot of money that they made on that building. $2,500 is not a lot to them.
But the realtor wouldn't be involved. They would just say, what's it worth? And we can figure out. And if everybody likes it.
Should be discussing it.
Yeah, I was just gonna recommend because it's real estate
My mistake, my bad.
negotiations, so.
You're right. Yep, okay.
But maybe we can put that on the agenda for the next
Okay.
meeting if you want.
The denials project is going well. We are trying to get with CPSI. I mean, they are not very calling us back to try to fix the system. Tried to scare them by saying we were going to change systems, but they know we're not going to. So didn't have much weight.
Nice try.
The auxiliary, our sales are going up. We were going to get a credit. We finally decided the bank will not give us a credit card machine. So we're going, what's the name of the company? Square. That's the same company that we have in the dietary, right?
Same thing we used to change.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the sales are going up. We have so many donations right now, they couldn't even get them. Heidi was there this weekend. She said they couldn't even get them on the door because there were so many. So it's looking up there. We're only open 3 days a week. If we can get some more volunteers, maybe we can open up a day or two more, which might be helpful.
You don't think it has anything to do with, since you took over, they think we need help?
I don't know what you mean.
They have gained several volunteers.
Yeah.
In the auxiliary. My wife works there, and so they've brought on several new ones here very recently. And it's continuing to go up under the new management.
I think that's the big issue is we changed, the manager got changed. I think she was holding us back a little bit. And the morale there has improved also because of that. And that's all from my report. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for John?
No.
No, sir. Questions for John?
It seems like you're doing a good job. I can't see everything you do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, John. We don't have any new old business this afternoon, so we'll go into new business. And item 1 is the unaudited financial statements for November of 2025. This is on pages 38 through 48 of your packet.
Are we doing this because we didn't have a finance?
I assume so.
We didn't have any. We only had, I think, what's something we do with it?
We can't.
Have any questions on the financials? You know, usually you don't want me to.
The only question I had, you already answered earlier.
Yeah, that's,
The AR
and that'll go down as soon as we get paid.
Okay.
Like I said, we got the bills out.
Okay.
We should get paid within 14 days. So the bills have been out about a week almost, I think. So.
Can I make a negative comment? Your answering machine says CFO.
Oh, it does? Yeah. Still I'm the CFO though.
No, you don't.
I'll change it, Dee.
No, legally.
I know.
Pass it off to right here.
She doesn't want it. I didn't ask her. Okay, what other questions do we have on the financials?
Do we have any questions? Anything that sticks out of?
I do not, sir.
I do.
He's making money.
We are. I mean, our
$4,000.
our revenues were down a little bit last month, but they're back up again this month.
Just keep us in the black. That's all we ask.
Our volumes were great in December, so that's a good thing. We should have a good month this month.
Could you try to talk to something that I can agree with Ross on?
I don't see this listed as an action item. Is this just information only? I assume, Heidi? Scott?
Receive and file for those.
Yeah, these are just reports. So you've reviewed them and you can receive and file them. I think that's your standard consent agenda item, is to receive and file these types of reports.
Okay. Was there any questions on items 2 and 3, financial narrative or 13-month statistics?
I didn't have any.
Okay.
I did not have questions.
Okay. Contracts on page 52. Is there anything on contracts?
I had a question on one of the.
Okay, Director Elliott. Yeah.
The where was it? I didn't mark it down. The Nanosonics ultrasound, we're paying $8,400 a month, or is that annually?
That shows annual.
Annual.
Yeah. Yep.
And the one at the bottom, the Walters Kluber, for $13,000 annually. Are these something that are value that we need? It just seem like
They are.
big numbers.
Well, the 8,400, that's a maintenance contract, so we need to keep that because if we don't and something goes wrong, basically insurance.
Okay. All right.
And the other one is this decision support.
What is that? Like an algorithm?
Sort of.
Put in.
Yeah.
It helps providers make medical
Diagnosis.
decisions.
No, they won't be doctors then.
It helps the providers make the medical decisions is what it's
Go ahead,
for.
Carrie.
Like they-
What was that?
It helps providers make medical decisions. They can query this database to help them do research on.
Basically replace the old physician's death reference that we used to get purchased every year, a giant book.
Okay.
But this is like an online version that's replaced that, and it's current.
How does the cost compare to the old book? This is $13,000 a year. Was that what the book cost?
Expensive, and you'd have to get one for each unit. And then there was concerns as things were updated that the books weren't. So it's the sort of industry standard now, whereas the books are sort of.
It's just easier to use too. That's the main reason.
This is more than a PDR. It's a complete reference. It's a peer reviewed reference for how you deal with CHF or diabetes or new diseases that are coming out. And there's patient information or patient education information that's associated with it. It's an industry standard. Everyone uses this. And on top of that, most of the providers get all of their continuing medical education through that. Not everyone, but most of them do.
Thank you, Greg. So in your opinion, it's worth money?
Absolutely.
With AI, just AI could probably have more information than their entire system. So there's changes out there.
Yeah, but AI is not always gospel where this is peer reviewed.
But
we're not ready. We couldn't use AI to make these type of like medical decisions or give medical information because it's just not there yet. The chance of like a hallucination or something not being correct is too high to use a tool like that for this purpose.
Right now.
Right now, yes.
Yeah, I don't know how things will evolve, but right now it's certainly not something we would want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and what will happen is they'll incorporate AI into their program, and then you'll just keep your subscription with them because they'll be using the AI.
And it should be cheaper then.
Well, all AI is going to do is look at the database of Walters Kluwer, and you'll be able to talk to it in more plain language and get information from it. So it's going to isolate what AI is looking at to give you pertinent, accurate information. So I'm sure the subscription will increase if that happens.
Is that annual March, it renews in February or March? And it's probably got a standard 30-day cancellation if we.
I'll have to look at the contracts. I think it'd be probably 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's something the doctors use, and I think it's worth it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion then to receive and file items 1 through 3, and then for item 3 to approve.
Motion by Director Elliott and second by Director Elconin. Any other discussion? Any questions or comments from the public or staff? Okay, all those in favor of the motion? Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Next, we'll go on to item 4. This is the cooling tower rebuild resolution 2601. Bob, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, so I don't know if you remember, about 4 or 5 years ago, I brought this to the board to rebuild the tower. And at the time, we were going to be able to rebuild both towers simultaneously, but I had not realized that building maintenance items over a certain dollar amount had to go prevailing wage and various things. So Scott reminded me in the meeting with you folks, I don't know if it was you folks, but anyway, but the board at the time. So we had to table it because we couldn't go with bids that were not prevailing wage. So then Tim asked me to hold off on doing it for a number of years and to not spend the money. And so we did. This last spring, as soon as it started getting warm, chillers were shutting down due to the water being too hot, not being cooled. And so we spent hundreds of hours with my staff every morning for weeks, going up and working for 3 hours on the cooling tower, breaking all of the mineral deposits out. And we ended up with piles on the roof of mineral deposits pulled out of the cooling tower because the water's so hard here. And it's just basically, it's shot. Okay. You have some pictures in your packet that, on the resolution packet, just the last page. Those are pictures of the cooling tower. So there's a picture of the lower basin, which is the cold water basin, which has water in it, and you can see how bad the scale buildup is in it. And then in the pictures that you see of the sides of the cooling tower, that's after spending hundreds of hours breaking the mineral deposits out. You literally could not see those black fins at all. They were completely plugged and no air could flow through it. And so we made it through last year. A few times we had to run the old chiller because tower could not maintain 78 degree water, which is required for the newer chiller, the new high efficiency chiller. So on the really hot, warmer days this last summer, we had to run the old chiller, which can handle up to 84 degree water. So, I mean, we're really due. If we had a good hot summer coming up this summer, we're in trouble. I probably would not be able to air condition the building. So we put it back out to bid, prevailing wage, with all the requirements. I had Scott go through all of my documents and everything before we sent them out, and everything's kosher. The challenge that we have is that there's 3 bids. Last time we had 5 companies bidding. The company that was highest last time, is now the low bid. The scope of work hasn't changed, and I'm not sure why they went from being the highest bid to the lowest bid, but they did. The challenge that I have got is that when you go into the detailed scope of what they're going to do, the cold water basin is in the bottom. It's about as big as from BTU. It's great big. And then the same matching hot water basin. So the hot water basin is where the hot water goes up into the top. It trickles down through all of this media, and we suck air through it to cool it down. It's a great big swamp cooler. Then that cooled water goes down and cools off the chiller, makes our air conditioning. So the challenge is that the low bid didn't do the work or didn't include the scope of work that I had thought was insinuated by the pictures. You can see on the lower right corner that's the basin that it's got no water in it, because I wanted to take a picture of it when the chillers were off, and you can see how thick the scale is. And even in fact, some of the holes down through are plugged. What needs to happen is those basins have to be craned off. They have to be sandblasted. The rubber nozzles need to all be replaced. That was not included in the low bid. That's the scope of work. They were just kind of pressure wash them and call it good. Pressure washing will not get all that scale off. What they have to do is they have to sandblast it down to bare metal. Then they have to coat the metal with a impervious epoxy type paint product. And then put the new nozzles in, and then do the same with the lower basin. And then they also crane out all of that old black fill and replace it all with all new fill. And you have to understand the fill and everything that's in there has been in there for about 20 years. It's done. So I talked to Scott. I can't go back to the low bid and add scope of work because it's not allowed under public bidding. So that we have the choice we have is Scott drafted a resolution that want to go with the next bidder up, which was 155,000, as I remember. I gave you kind of a synopsis sheet of the bids. Obviously we'd save a little money with going with a low bid, but it would be a low grade remodel of rebuild. Not my recommendation. Would it work? It would work, but our upper basins are not going to be in like new condition.
So the low bid is disqualified because they weren't responsive to the.
That's my premise is that they bid. If you're buying a car and you bought a Hyundai, or if you bought a Chevy or a Ford, I mean, and it was a beat up Hyundai that was worn out. That's
And
kind
3
of,
tires.
yes. So the reality is, and their own, and their bid only sandblasted the basin up to the water line.
Okay.
And whereas the other one is sandblasting the whole interior, getting it all back to new condition. So it's the 2 top bids, both covered everything. The bid out of Bakersfield was way high. It was over 200,000. Didn't really include much more than of anything that isn't included in the middle bid. All of the bidders are competent. And if I had done a detailed specification of exactly what I wanted to be done in writing on every portion of the cooling tower, the gentleman from the low bid said that his bid would have been higher and would have included it. But because I didn't spell out every little detail, I'm not a cooling tower specialist. I'm relying on cooling tower specialists. These guys rebuild cooling towers all day long, every day. They know what to do. I was relying on the pictures, showing the picture. 4 years ago, we did a job walk, and the two lowest bidders this time were both on that job walk, so they have seen the tower. And the only one that came out and did a job walk this time was the high bid, and walked it. But all of them had the pictures and the description of what was expected. Anyway, so my recommendation is that we adopt the resolution and go with the middle bid. I have talked to the low bidder on the phone. He does understand that he probably is not going to get it because he didn't really give us a good quality rebuild. And he did not seem terribly upset about it. And we're just one tower out of many that he's going to do this year. So that's where we're at.
Excuse me, are you concerned with bidder number 2 not doing the walkout, that you're not going to get what you need, or do you feel that?
Because they have walked it before.
All right.
They were on the job walk from several years ago.
Okay.
And yes,
Do we need a motion to accept that bid that he wants to accept?
well, and the resolution Scott put together.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a motion to adopt the resolution and accept
Okay,
the recommendation.
I'll second.
You want the motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion.
Okay, yeah. Motion by Director
Thank you.
Parks. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Director Elliott. Is there any other discussion? Input from the public or staff?
The good news is the water is different here now since they're bringing it from South. And they should last longer.
I hope so. I'm also researching chemicals that can be put into the cooling tower to keep the minerals in suspension, but is still acceptable to go into our waste treatment plant without killing the waste treatment plant. So I'm working on that as an ongoing maintenance type thing of how to keep it from building up.
It was terrible before they brought it in from out there.
Yeah, that was actually gonna be my question is, have we thought about maybe trying to look into like a filtration system? I know it's kind of impossible because there's so much hard water here in the valley.
It goes through a large volume.
Yeah.
It's one of my largest water users in this entire facility, because in the summertime, it's the cooling tower.
Yeah, because we even have the same problem with the cooling.
And I don't leave,
calcium built up on
and I don't leave the water in the tower as long as is even recommended by cooling tower companies, because what you do is you blow down the tower on a regular basis to eliminate the water that's got a lot of minerals in it, so that you don't have as many minerals. And that is measured by electrical conductivity of the water. So we have a pump system that is measuring constantly that electrical conductivity. And when it reaches a certain point, it blows down and gets rid of some of the high mineral water and brings in fresh. They recommend you can go up to 4,000 EC, and I can't because of the regulations on our waste treatment plant. My water going out to the leach field cannot be 500 EC higher than fresh water coming into the facility. Fresh water coming into this facility is about 1,500 EC. I can't take it to 4,000 on the cooling tower, dump it in there because I'll be off the charts on the EC and the treatment plant and be cited by the state water board. So we actually blow it down to about 2,400 EC. And so we're actually flushing it out faster than recommended by cooling tower companies.
Okay. Any other comments before we do the vote?
Yeah, so
Oh, go ahead.
does the board have any questions on sections 1, 2, or 3 of the resolution? You know, the law is you go with the lowest responsible bidder. And bids can be rejected for 2 reasons. 1, they're not responsive, or 2, the bidder is not responsible. As Bob mentioned, in this case, we are not rejecting the low bid on the grounds that the bidder is not responsible. We are doing it on the grounds that the bid is not responsive, in that it did not include the entire scope of the project, and there were material omissions in its bid package. So section 1 makes findings and determinations regarding the non-responsiveness of the bid. Section 2 authorizes the rejection of the non-responsive bid. And then section 3 authorizes the award of the contract. And so I just want to make sure that the board is comfortable with the resolution and the process that we're going through.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty straightforward, and I appreciate Bob kind of explaining the reasoning behind it. I don't know if the board had any other comments or.
I think Scott did a great job at making
Yeah,
it clear. I understood it and thought, yeah, this is a good plan.
I do have a question. In there, it states that I have to notify the bidders within 5 days, et cetera, of the adoption of the resolution and all of that. Do I send a copy of the resolution out to each contractor that bid?
No, you and I will draft a letter to send to them.
Great, thank you.
Scott, you have professional liability insurance, right?
You guys have great D&O coverage.
Okay, all those in favor of adopting resolution 2601, please.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed or abstaining? Okay, the resolution is adopted as presented. Thank you, Bob, and thank you, Scott.
Thank you. We're gonna make it through the next number.
Yeah.
Close the hospital.
Good.
Good. The next item on the agenda is, since it's January, we're in a new year, we need to vote on the election of officers for the 2026 year. So we can do this many ways. We can do,
Can I talk about it first?
okay, go ahead.
Okay. Everything seems to have worked this year. You and Catherine, as a backup to you, runs a good meeting. You're good. Fred was good when he was the director, and so was, what's his name? But I would like to make a motion, or we don't need a motion. I'd like to leave it the way it is. And as far as the committees go, Fred and I have pretty much got into the finance committee where we think we know what we're doing. And I would like for us to both be on there again if possible. But that would be your direction, John.
No, we can open up to discussion.
Okay.
Director O'Connor, what do you?
Okay.
Well, I don't want to be chair. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have any recommendations, actually. I hadn't thought about it. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Director, Elliot, don't come to Director Clark.
I kind of have been the same opinion as Gene this time. It's working.
Okay.
It's been a good productive year. The meetings have been efficient. Let's leave it alone.
I have to agree. I think all of us work together very well. I think we have great teams in place for every committee. I don't see any reason to shake it up.
It sounds like the general consensus is all stay chair, Catherine will be first vice chair, Fred second vice, Jean treasurer, and Ross secretary.
Okay,
Yeah.
Russ, you were a good director.
I think he means.
Thank you.
No, I meant, what am I saying?
Board chair.
The board chair, you were a good board chair.
Well, everybody, I
But does
think,
Gene know that we don't?
well, and I think everybody that has been board chair, whether it was Catherine or Fred or Ross, or even some of the other folks that were on the board when I first came on, I mean, I've all done a good job. I know everybody kind of runs a little bit different procedural wise, but the bottom line is just trying to run a very smooth meeting. Thankfully, we haven't had any disruptions from the public where we have to kick them out or anything like that. So,
The catch is we have a good board in place.
yeah,
Same common goal.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's been a very productive year. It's been a very busy year with a lot of things, and John coming in as the new CEO. So if that's the consensus, we'll need a motion to just keep the officers as is for the year 2026.
I'll make the motions.
Okay, motion, Director Parks, and second by Director Clark. Any further discussion or input from the staff? Is there any member of the public that wants to see me ousted as board chair? Or?
I think we're gonna see an editorial.
Yeah, you'll have to pay $1.50 next week.
Okay, all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Okay, well, now it's director's comments not appearing on the agenda. Start with Director Parks and kind of work our way down. Any?
I was joking my first comment whenever I said about the skilled nursing.
What?
But
Oh,
everything seems to be working great. I appreciate these guys letting me stay in here. That's
all we have. Okay, quick comment.
I would like to agree that it's been a productive year. It seems like it's been a long time coming. You know, we've worked on some of the same items over and over, and I'd like to think that, yeah, seeing that it's been productive all the way from employment, HR, building, the pharmacy. There's been a lot going on. It's been a busy year. So, but yeah, that's all I have to say, but it has been busy. It's been great. I've been grateful for it.
Thank you, Director O'Connor. Director Elliott, anything?
The amount of money we made in November kind of caught me by surprise. It was a positive number, but it was a very small number.
well, the revenues were down and expenses are up.
Yeah, and I don't, if we keep going that way, we're gonna be in serious trouble in the end of next year or into this year. And so I guess tell us what you need to turn our finances around. So
We need more volume, so that's what we're trying to come up with additional revenue sources, and we need to cut our expenses. I mean, that's basic, but sounds basic, but that's what we're working on.
and
We really need to get our revenues up because a lot of our expenses are fixed. Unless we start reducing our FTEs, we aren't going to be able to cut much on expenses. That's our biggest expenses, we all know.
and that skilled nursing facility is one of our biggest revenue generators.
We need that, we need
And
that.
if it's not going as much as we can, we're not doing everything we
We
can
need
to
to make
stay open.
changes. I agree with you. I'm
Okay.
not opposed to that, Russ. Whatever changes need to be made, I'm not opposed to making. Whatever's going to make us successful, we will make those changes.
Well, we're looking to you to tell us what needs to be done along the way. We've only got a few months now.
Understand?
Okay.
Thank you, Director Elliott. Director Clark, anything?
I made a comment that the first 12 months was gonna be rough. I'm sure I'm holding up my end of the bargain.
Yeah.
Something tells me the next 8 or 9 months isn't gonna get much easier.
Probably not.
Just hold your
Yeah,
breath. We'll get through it.
We've got a good team in place. I think we'll be okay. And we'll talk about some other things in closed session also.
Great. And I want to thank all of you for coming to it. Appreciate everyone that's being here, especially you. Drain her. Thank you. Sorry.
Just want to say the same thing. Thank you for all of you for coming, your input. I think it was a very productive meeting this afternoon. I agree with Director Elliott. I think we need to look at some of these, potential issues down the road. But I think with even though you're the CEO with some of your financial background, I think you'll hopefully steer us in the right direction. And very honored to be the presiding chair for another year. I agree with, it has been a very busy and very productive year with some of the changes that have gone on with the hospital. And like I said, with John coming on board as the new CEO, but yeah, I'm excited for the new year and see where we go from here. So with that, we're going to adjourn to closed session at 2:55. So thank you all for coming, and please continue to come to the monthly meetings when you can. So